Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sends a cable of condolences to the President of Zimbabwe on the death of former President Robert Mugabe. The Sultanate and Britain discuss regional and international issues and exchange views on matters of mutual interest. And Iran takes further steps to scale back from the nuclear commitments. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sent a cable of condolences to His Excellency Emmerson Mnangagwa, President of Zimbabwe, on the death of former President Robert Mugabe. His Majesty the Sultan sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency Jair Bolsonaro, President of Brazil, on the occasion of his country's National Day. His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, met with His Excellency Dominic Raab, UK Foreign Secretary, in London. Both parties discussed regional and international issues and exchanged their views on matters of mutual interest. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Sheikh Abdulaziz bin Abdullah Al Hanai, Sultanate's ambassador to the United Kingdom, and a number of officials from both countries. His Excellency the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs also met with His Excellency Andrew Morrison, the British Secretary of State for Middle East and North Africa, and Richard Moore, the Director General for Political Affairs at the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, to discuss means to enhance bilateral relations between the two friendly countries. The Sultanate of Oman participated in the Arab League's Economic and Social Council session, which was held in Cairo. The session came in preparation for the coming Arab League Summit and highlighted the importance of swift implementation of sustainable development goals set for countries affected by conflicts and those recovering. The attending ministers discussed the initiative made from the Arab League in cooperation with Government of Japan and UN Development Program. The Ministerial Level Social and Economic Council reviewed also Arab Free Economic Zone Initiative, the latest developments in the Arab Custom Union file, as well as joint investments in the Arab countries. Under the title New Opportunities and New Future, the Sultanate participated in the activities of China and Arab countries exhibition in the Chinese region Ningxia. The exhibition focused on enhancing the friendship relations between China and the Arab countries, as well as achieving their joint development. The event included a meeting to encourage the communication and the economic and commercial exchange in the modern agriculture, technology, and various fields. The Sultanate's pavilion received a number of visitors to get acquainted with the business environment in the country. On the sidelines of the China and Arab countries exhibition, the Conference of Investment and Cooperation in the field of production capacity was held to promote the investment opportunities in the Sultanate and top projects in the region. His Excellency Yahya bin Saeed Al-Jabri, Chairman of the Public Authority for Investment Promotion and Exports Development ITHRA and Special Economic Zone at Duqm, renewed his invitation for Chinese businessmen and companies to invest in the zone, highlighting the features and incentives provided by the government. Still to come on News Bulletin. On the plan to move the Indonesian capital from Jakarta to East Kalimantan region, the conservationists say that there may be some impact on the ecosystem. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The European Union today expressed its great concern after Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif wrote a letter to EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini saying that Iran would be further reducing its commitments under a 2015 nuclear deal. A spokeswoman for Mogherini said EU members would only remain committed to the 2015 nuclear deal if Iran remained compliant with it. The comment came after Iran said on Wednesday it would begin developing centrifuges to speed up the enrichment of uranium, which can produce fuel for power plants. Under the 2015 deal, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, Iran is allowed limited research and development on advanced centrifuges, which accelerate the production of fissile material that can be used to make a nuclear bomb. Tehran denies seeking nuclear weapons. Robert Mugabe, the former guerrilla hero turned despot who ruled Zimbabwe for 37 years until the military forced him out, has died at the age of 95. First heralded as a liberator who rid the former British colony Rhodesia of white minority rule, Mugabe used repression and fear to govern until he was finally outed by his previously loyal generals in November 2017. A Zimbabwean diplomat said Mugabe died at Singapore, where he had been hospitalized in April. The Singaporean Foreign Ministry confirmed that Mugabe had died at Glen Eagles Hospital. President Emmerson Mnangagwa said that Mugabe was an icon of liberation, a Pan-Africanist who dedicated his life to the emancipation and empowerment of his people. His contribution to the history of the nation and continent will never be forgotten. Sudan's prime minister announced the formation of the first government since the overthrow of longtime ruler Omar Hassan al-Bashir in April. The government was formed as part of a 3-year power-sharing deal signed last month between the military and civilian parties and protest groups. Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok announced the names of 18 ministers in the new cabinet and said he would name 2 more later. The cabinet includes 4 women, among them Asma Abdullah, who becomes the country's first female foreign minister. It also includes Ibrahim al-Badawi, a former World Bank economist, who will serve as finance minister, and Madani Abbas Madani, a leader of the civilian coalition that negotiated the transition deal with the military as Ministry of Industry and Trade. General Jamal Omar, a member of the Transitional Military Council that took over from Bashir, was appointed as defense minister. German Chancellor Angela Merkel said at the start of a visit to Beijing today that the China-US trade war affects the whole world and that she hopes it will be resolved soon. Germany's firms have been caught in the crossfire of the US-China trade conflict. Its economy contracted on weaker exports in the second quarter, and leading economists say it's facing a recession. But while US President Donald Trump has pressed American companies to look at ways to close their Chinese operations and make more of their products at home, Merkel wants to start a new phase in the European Union's relations with China. Merkel told Chinese Premier Li Keqiang at Beyond Great Hall of the People during the 2-day trip to China that they want to continue to develop this multilateral system and hoped it manages to bring the negotiations with the USA to an end. East Kalimantan in Indonesia is known for its lush foresty and protected animals, most notably the endangered orangutans, but with the plan to move the capital from Jakarta to the region, conservationists are worried that there may be some impact on the ecosystem. A conservationist from Borneo Orangutan Survival Foundation said that there will be positive and negatives in the development of the East Kalimantan region. Specifically, the biodiversity of the area might suffer. Indonesia planning minister said that there will be no structure built in the region's protected areas, and there are no reforestation plans for the abandoned illegal mines and plantations. The fate of the orangutans is particularly sensitive in Indonesia, given that they have become symbols for the campaigners targeting the world's biggest palm oil industry over the destruction of forests for plantations. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates, with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the coast of the Arabian Sea and the Sea of Oman. Cloudy skies with chances of intermittent drizzle are expected over the governorate of Dhofar. Winds will be southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sends a cable of condolences to the President of Zimbabwe on the death of former President Robert Mugabe. The Sultanate and Britain discussed regional and international issues and exchanged views on matters of mutual interest. And Iran takes further steps to scale back from the nuclear commitments. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, thank you for watching and enjoy your weekend.